today in a Zoom room with at least one other person today. And something that I've been thinking about and working with this past couple of days has been my tongue, my neck, and my shoulders, and that sort of relationship. In Laban, we would talk about this relationship like if we were like kind of like the big table, the round table, the field, when we're in this horizontal space of like what's all around us. This is very much a sharing and caring space of being with other people as opposed to just in me. But when we have this side to side, it's like we can take in all of our surroundings. And so when we lay down, we're just going to translate that idea comes with us when we go down to the ground, of just being able to take in and process what's going on around us and also in us. So there's a sound that I want to work with today, and it's an NG sound, like a and it's just basically like if you make a ah and then pull your tongue back, so you're creating that space in here. And then once you're making the you could close your mouth and you can kind of roll your tongue around, and it sort of can massage that inner space. So you want to be as soft and light in your jaw as possible. So let's just do a couple of rounds of that. Oh, we've got one more coming in right now. So I'll just repeat that for a second. Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron, so we're just going with this breath sound, and it's an NG sound, like a and you can come in, take your time, settle. I know we're on different time zones. So the NG sound is like ah, and then you go you just pull your tongue back a little bit. And then once we go with that, you're going to let your tongue kind of move around. And when I do that, I can feel all of this movement in my tongue, in my like sinuses, like and it shifts because actually I have earplugs in. I can really hear where the sound is moving in my cranium. So it's shifting all this space around. We were just talking about the horizontal plane and like how in the Laban world, this sort of horizontal plane is taking in your surroundings. And it's also the sort of sharing and caring, like I can hug you in this space. I can expand and serve my sandwiches to everybody and share. It's like the sharing and caring sort of round table space. So we're going to be playing with that once we get down onto the floor, dealing with sort of tongue as it relates to throat and neck, into shoulders, ribcage, lungs, and then down the system. I know that, I think I've heard Liz Koch say that the tongue is sort of like a relating to the psoas, just that the tissue in there, the sort of muscular tissue in the tongue is similar to psoas tissue. Just throwing that out there. So let's play with that NG sound. Yeah, and actually Jane is popping in now too. So as I'm going to explain this to Jane, please feel free to just start playing with the NG. So we're playing with this sound, this like NG sound, and it's like you are making an ah, and then you sort of pull your tongue back, ah, and then you can close your mouth a little bit and let your tongue kind of ripple and wave. So it's like ah. And as I'm rippling and waving with my tongue, it really shifts the vibration pattern that's happening in different parts of my face and my cranium. And to add the one more triple time of this, in Laban, we talk about the horizontal plane as being very much the table plane, the sharing and caring, the we place. So I think of this very much about processing, and then also the stuff that's going through my face, tongue, neck, throat, into shoulders, into heart, rib cage, lungs, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to play with that NG sound, which we've been doing for a few minutes now. And whenever you're ready, I'm going to invite you to lay down and just, you can continue on the floor. Once we get onto the floor, you're just going to play with really slowly turning your head from side to side. I think I need to stay seated a little bit longer and settle into this, but you can lay down whenever you want. And I also really want to invite you to participate in whatever level feels good to you. So it doesn't have to be doing what I'm doing. If you need to move more or move less, by all means do that. Taking it all the way down. And playing with that. You can slowly turn your head sort of side to side. You can also slowly open and close your mouth. I've had caffeine this morning, so I'm a little wired. So not always the best thing when you're going to do somatic places. But if I seem a little speedy, it's because I am. You can take the sound out whenever that feels right, but playing with this opening and closing of the jaw and also turning of the head from side to side. For me, as I'm doing that, there's a lot of freedom in my spine, like it's also moving. So I'm not stabilizing any part of my body, really. I'm just letting it move as it feels good with this. With the side to side. And this could be very macro, whole body, whole spine, or very micro, really just in head, neck, occipital joint sort of area. Letting the tongue, the neck, and the throat soften and become really fluid. Even thinking of the bone becoming sort of softer and more, I want to say, resilient. And adding that NG sound whenever you want to, or just going with silence, either way is fine. So I had initially felt like I was really going to be working with just the side to side sort of rolling, but now as I'm down here, I'm feeling this head to tail ripple pattern coming in. So feel free to really let your body respond in whatever way feels good, whatever feels good and interesting, and whatever sort of calls to you. And if it feels good to move more, you can take that really into a full roll from side to side or even onto your belly. Imagining sort of pouring yourself from one side to the other, as slow or as fast as feels good. Letting your human body become a little more sack-like, a little less of a structured form and a lot more soft and sort of spongy. And if the rolling starts to turn into any kind of spiraling, that's fine. Imagining that the earth is sort of holding you, the gravitational pull of the earth is holding you, you can nestle into it. And it's also allowing whatever sort of tension that is draining out of your body or that could drain out of your body, it's sort of recycling that. So that energy of whatever it is you're holding can sort of melt and let go and just offer it to the earth, offer it to gravity. Imagining, or I don't know, for some, how I sort of believe that the space is also very alive. So allowing the space around you to also sort of take offer support to you so that your movement is really, really supported by the three-dimensional space around you, by the gravitational pull of the earth. And I had this image of tissue of our sort of fascia and the system of our fascia and our nervous system routed through that as being kind of like this breathing like sponge, or like breathing like certain funguses have a lot of kind of icosahedral structure. So imagining that deep down into the tissue of your body, there's a sort of breath and a rise and fall, a pulsation. Our cells do breathe. So we could sort of link that to cellular breathing or cellular respiration, but it's also just this sort of tiny little growing and shrinking that's happening with the breath. And inviting the earth to just absorb any kind of stuff that you're ready to drop out, to let it, to sprinkle on it, any kind of weird holding patterns, any kind of tensions, any kind of unsupportive stuff that isn't serving you. Joy. And so for me, my arms are getting into the game. I think a lot of it for me is this connection of the things that I'm holding in the world. They really connect into my arms. So letting that free up or have a slightly different dance. Instead of holding so much, well, freedom of arms to shoulders, to heart, to lungs, head, neck, tongue, soft. And I'm actually going to give us some music to play around with. And let this get as big or as small as you need. Even stillness can be really nourishing. So this is this friend of mine, Jeff Gersh, who does this. He made this music in Iceland. It'll probably be kind of quiet, but eventually. Here we go. I see kitties getting in on the action over there. Can you hear music at all in those rooms? A little bit, yeah? Cool. Yeah, let yourself tune to the spaciousness of that sound. awakening the intelligence of the fluidity in your body. So all the fluid systems able to move in a more coherent manner just means that they're working together nicely. Every system working together in the most optimal, nourishing way for your nervous system, for the tissues in your body, for your health and aliveness, for your vitality. And if you have stuff around you, like maybe a couch or a chair or anything that's nearby, feel free to use it as a launch pad or something to relate to. If you can connect to objects in space. Or even like to massage off of. There's a table leg under here that I've got my foot on. So it gives me this other different point of contact in the world. Inviting your awareness to come into this very open field of sensation. And just seeing if it's possible to, I know for me it's really easy to notice what hurts and to keep sort of working around that. See if you can also notice what feels good and sort of go back and forth between those things. Deliciousness and nourishment, as well as sort of working with whatever is sticky or goopy or gluey in there. And imagining that the system of your body, the whole system is like one alive, vibrating matrix. It's not the word I want to use, but it's the one that comes to mind. Just this whole system of interconnectedness, information traveling through, fluid traveling through, vitality traveling through. And the idea that the intelligence in one tiny area of your body is shared by all areas of your body. So there's not a separation anywhere. The fluid in one part of the lake knows what the fluid in the other part of the lake knows. So same with your body. The information in your fingertip is equal to the information in your brain or in your knee. I'm on a really creaky floor today. Inviting your awareness to really dive into sensation. And if story or narrative comes up, see if you can shift back towards sensation. go of story and narrative. Allowing your body to really attune to any guidance or information that is helpful. Off that music, which is really coming in so light on mine, and just slowly start to gather us back together. It's a very, yeah, back into it's just the very beginning. See you later, Terry. If you gotta go, go ahead. I feel like we're just sort of landing in the very beginning. So you may feel free to continue on with your exploration as necessary. Oh, you got the kitty. The kitty's in the game. Yeah. I love it. And it's not going anywhere. Oh, it's like you just do whatever you want. I'm happy.